Good morning.
Are we live? We are live, I guess. Technical things abound today. So good morning to everyone. It's great to see you all here. We made the national news. It's awesome. So due to the recent upswing of COVID diagnoses in the area and positive tests for a fully vaccinated congregant, we do urge you to wear a mask. You may sign the list in the foyer if you would like to be notified in case someone else who is here later tested as positive with the virus. However, here we go. So you go Springfield. Please check in on your phone and then silence it or turn it off. We're number one. Yay.
Not proud of that one, but yeah.
If you would please check in your phone, and turn it off. Something happened with the bouquet today, Cindy. I don't know. It was in memory of your mom's transition 37 years ago. Sorry. So it's very translucent right now, but we shall have that for you.
But we honor that.
We do honor that indeed. Yes. If you would please stand and remain standing through our second song. Our first song is I Start My Day, written by Karen Drucker. The lyrics are on the screen.
We love Karen Drucker. I start my day with love. When I start my day with love, that's what I get more of, is love. I start my day with love. When I start my day with love, that's what I get more of, is love. Love, love, love. Love, love, love. Love, love, love. Love, love, love. I start my day with peace. When I start my day with peace, I feel that sweet release of peace. I start my day with peace. When I start my day with peace, I feel that sweet release of peace. I choose peace, peace, peace. Peace, peace, peace. Peace, peace, peace. Peace, peace, peace. I start my day with joy. When I start my day with joy, everything I do is infused with joy. I start my day with joy. When I start my day with joy, everything I do is infused with joy. I choose joy, joy, joy. Joy, joy, joy. Joy, joy, joy. Joy, joy, joy. I start my day with love. I start my day with peace. I start my day with joy, and I feel that sweet release. I start my day with love. I start my day with peace. I start my day with joy, and I feel that sweet release. Woo-hoo. It's all good ways to start the day.
That's right. If you would please join us in Unity's statement of faith. Together now. There is only one presence and one power in the universe and in my life. God the good, omnipotent. Sue and I were just talking that we really love When I Pray by Daniel Nahmod. It's a Daniel Nahmod kind of day. And this is just a fantastic song. So please join us in When I Pray.
I feel my heart go deeper, my heart go deeper into my God when I pray. I feel my heart go deeper, my heart go deeper into my God right here, right now, right where I am. I pray right here, right now, right where I am. I pray. When I pray, I feel my soul go deeper, my soul go deeper into my God. When I pray, I feel my soul go deeper, my soul go deeper into my God. Right here, right now, right where I am. I pray. Right here, right now, right where I am. I pray. When I pray, I feel my love go deeper, my love go deeper into my God. When I pray, I feel my love go deeper, my love go deeper into my God. Right here, right now, right where I am. I pray. Right here, right now, right where I am. I pray. When I pray, I feel my heart go deeper, my heart go deeper into my God.
That's what I'm talking about. Please be seated. Then you can leave, Clay. Then you can just go run out. But I would hate that, because then you would miss all my witticisms later on. There aren't many, but I would hate for you to miss that. Yeah?
You know, I'm kind of speechless for even what to say at this point about Mitch, so I just won't. Let's all join together in our mission statement, which is on the screen. Our mission is to encourage and inspire spiritual and personal growth by empowering each other to be authentically all that we came here to be. So we're going to enter into our time of our daily word, followed by our time of prayer and meditation. So if you'll just join me in speaking our affirmation together on the screen. I give thanks for a divine revelation. How many of us want a divine revelation? Yes, yes. My consciousness is like an iceberg, visible in some aspects, yet the depth and breadth remain out of view. If something is troubling me, perhaps something underneath the surface of my mind needs to be brought to my awareness. When I give thanks in advance for blessings not yet received, I activate spiritual healing in my consciousness. When information that may help me is hidden from my sight, my prayer is, I give thanks for a divine revelation. Reveal what needs to be revealed and heal what needs to be healed. I feel greater peace and comfort as I release all that is hidden from my awareness. I experience deep and dynamic healing as I integrate my whole self in consciousness. Our scripture for today, if you'd like to say it with me, is on the screen from Ephesians 1:17. I pray that the God of our Lord Jesus Christ may give you a spirit of wisdom and revelation as you come to know him. And let's now join again in our affirmation. I give thanks for a divine revelation. So now as we prepare to enter into this most sacred time of prayer and meditation, I'm going to invite us to keep the following people in our prayer consciousness. And if you would like to close your eyes, feel free to do so. Don and Wendy, Zach, Brittany, Edna, Jack, Benjamin, Tiffany, Simone, Steve, Linda, Ardith, Bobby, Janet, the Czar family, Tim, Barbara, Shirley, and Leanna. And now I'm going to invite you just to allow the beautiful, peace-filled tones of the prayer bowl to center you as we begin to move into this time of affirmative prayer and meditation. And as we listen to those beautiful tones of the prayer bowl that are attuned to our heart chakra, I invite you to center your awareness in your heart space, in that sacred sanctuary of your soul, in this place where we close our outer eyes and we open our inner eyes to the awareness of the ever-presence of God, the ever-presence of the Holy Spirit, of this divine intelligence. And we allow ourselves just to rest and relax in this place, to be open and receptive. And in these moments, we say, thank you, thank you, thank you, God. Thank you for this life. Thank you for the abundant blessings that are around me every day. And may I be more awake and aware to see these blessings and to appreciate them in the moment. We thank you, Blessed Spirit, because we know that no matter what is going on in our personal lives, in the lives of our loved ones, in the lives of all those in our country, in the lives of all those across our planet, that we know that there is only one presence and one power, and that it is God, and that God is good. And we know that although things may not look good and may not feel good, that always this divine intelligence is weaving everything into the greater tapestry of good for everyone. We give thanks for the healing that is taking place on our planet. Even in times that we may not be able to see the physical evidence of this, we know the power of our prayer consciousness. And we hold that vision, remembering that love is the transformative power that will heal anything and everything. And it is our blessing and our honor to be the presence of love to ourselves, to our families, to our friends, to our community, to our country, and to our world. We bless the leaders all over the world, and we hold the vision of that divine love moving in through every heart and every mind and doing its mighty work. And we just say thank you, thank you, thank you, beloved Spirit. And now as we enter into this time of meditation, we open ourselves up to divine revelation. Here we are, God. We are ready to be healed at the core of our being. We are ready to heal our thoughts, to release our past programming that is no longer serving us, and to root ourselves deeply in our one true source, God, the good, omnipotent. And as we feel ourselves being rooted more deeply and more widely, we open ourselves up to the sustenance of spirit, to be what feeds us, what nurtures us, what grows us. That the manifestation of our life is an expression of the one life, of the one love of God. So as we begin to move into this place of silence this morning, I just invite you to be present, to feel yourself rooted deeper and wider, and to feel the nurturing of God's love feeding you in all that you are in the silence. So I am over the top excited this morning because we just have talent that is showing up with us. And so this morning for our special music, our sound tech, who also we found out, as we've all known, can play instruments, is going to be singing this morning. And so Jacob Burr is going to be singing Get Ready My Soul by Daniel Nahmod.
Technical difficulties here. Tell you what. Technology is so wonderful. Once again, you've probably seen Jacob up here playing a few times. It's really, really wonderful to have him singing. He sounds great. We're going to do some Daniel Nahmod tunes, 2 of them, which is fantastic. Jacob also told me to tell you, if you make eye contact, expect a whooping. So I don't know what that means, but just, you've been warned. You've been warned.
Watch out. Get ready, my soul. I'm diving in. Get ready, my soul. I'm diving in to the deepest kind of love, to the sweetest kind of life. Get ready, my soul. Everything I've ever done, everything I've ever seen, everything I've lost or won, everything I've ever dreamed has brought me here to the present moment, here to a new beginning, here, and I'm seeing life so clearly now. Get ready, my soul. I'm diving in. Get ready, my soul. I'm diving in to the deepest kind of love, to the sweetest kind of life. Get ready, my soul. 'Cause here I go, deeper, deeper, deeper than I've ever been before. Here I go, closer, closer, closer to my sacred source. Here I go, deeper, deeper, deeper than I've ever been before. Here I go, closer, closer, closer to my sacred source. Get ready, my soul. I'm diving in. Get ready, my soul. I'm diving in to the deepest kind of love, to the sweetest kind of life. Get ready, my soul. Get ready, my soul.
Thank you, Jacob.
Thank you. All right. Wow. That's the kind of thing that so excites me when we have somebody that is willing to step up and out and to share their talent. Jacob, that was amazing, and we look forward to many more. And I'm thinking that he has two very proud aunts in the back there with Amy and Lisa right now. So awesome. Also want to say thank you, John Merrifield, for taking over today with John Russ being gone. We appreciate you so much in our band. So do we have anybody here for the very first time today? I'm not going to make you stand up or ask you to stand up. Just wanted to say welcome. Okay, welcome back to everybody. Glad you're here. Wonderful. And it's glad to see some faces that I haven't seen in a while. Even though somewhat I'm seeing half faces again. But we kind of got used to that, didn't we? So I love that the song leading into today is Get Ready My Soul. I'm going deeper than I've ever been before. I know for myself I've been in Unity for well over 30 years. And I recognize that I am not even close to done. And I don't know about you, but I'm going to assume that you also have experiences that come up that kind of give the opportunity. You kind of feel like maybe you've gone back a little bit because you're in the freak out mode and you're in the like, what's happening mode and I've lost my faith kind of mode. And I want to tell you it's normal. We all do that. And but the great thing is we have great tools here to help us navigate life in such an empowering way. And obviously, that's what I get excited to share with you. So today, we are going to be starting to talk about some of the parables from a book called The Hidden Parables by Todd Michael. Now, a parable is a short allegorical story designed to illustrate or teach some truth, a religious principle, or a moral lesson. And actually, Mr. Michael, because I kept getting his name backwards, I kept calling him Michael Todd, the 30 parables in the Bible represent more than a third of all the words that were spoken by our master teacher in the recorded gospel. So obviously, teaching in parables was very important to this great, what we would like to call one of our greatest metaphysicians. But what Mr. Michael tells us is that these are not just loosely collected stories of teaching, that they're actually a deliberately sequenced and carefully integrated series of lessons. And as we know, Jesus reached the mastery level, but even just an effort on our part can really help to open us up to living life in a different way than we have even been used to before, and waking things up within us that have been dormant. I'm still amazed at all the things that still wake up in me that I go, oh my gosh, I've heard this over and over. Have you ever had that where you've heard something over and over and all of a sudden somebody says it and you get it? And you get it at a deep visceral level, and that's the great opportunity that we always have here. Remember that our great teacher told us that you are going to be able to do the works that I've done and even greater works than these. And that wasn't just hey guys, guess what? That's a really powerful statement. And we have not even begun to really own our power. I think in a lot of ways, most of us who've been in Unity for a while, we've experienced significant changes in our lives, yes, and we recognize that we are co-creating this experience, but we haven't even really tapped in to the powerful beings that we are. So I'm going to share some things with you from the book. The parables are going to lead us through layers of deep self-incrustations of fear, thick laminations of fossilized resentments, compacted deposits of ego. It is always the self with a small s that separates us from the source of true abundance, the source of life. And Jesus said, I came that you may have life and have it more abundantly. Yes, that we can experience this life in its full abundance. This is why the path to fulfillment, where your dreams will finally merge seamlessly with reality, must inevitably challenge you to confront anxiety-provoking revelations about your deepest character issues. That sounds fun, doesn't it? And the path must of necessity demand that you take action to correct them. You will be challenged. And that is absolutely true. But I also love what Mr. Michael says here because, again, Jesus was just a great metaphysician. And Charles Fillmore also talked about what I'm going to share in just a second here in Atom Smashing Power of the Mind. When the true depths of the parable lessons are unlocked and seen for what they really are, it becomes immediately obvious that their truths easily encompass even the most advanced concepts of our modern quantum world, even the so-called quantum mysteries. The great quantum mystery, for example, is how the human mind can actually influence the way matter and energy behave at a subatomic level. The parables reveal the practical import of these quantum mysteries, how they can actually be applied in useful ways to solve problems in the real problems in the real world. Gee, I think we've been talking about that for over 100 years. But I love that science is there with us, and we have that recognition that even just as an observer, we are affecting the particles and the waves. So the parable that I'm going to talk about today is the parable of the sower that is found in Matthew 13. So here's the parable of the sower. So, Jesus was always teaching people. He came out of this house. There were tons of people there. So it said that he went out into a boat in the lake. And he said to them, a farmer went out to sow seed. And as he was scattering the seed, some fell along the path and the birds came and ate it up. Some fell on rocky places where it didn't have much soil. It sprang up quickly, but because the soil was shallow, when the sun came up, the plants were scorched, and they withered because they had no root. Other seed fell among the thorns, which grew up and choked the plants. Still other seed fell on good soil, where it produced a crop, 160 or 30 times what was sown. Whoever has ears, let him hear. How many times did Jesus say this in his teachings? Whoever has eyes to see, whoever has ears to hear. He wasn't talking about our physical ears, was he? He was really saying there's a deeper meaning to what is being shared here. Then the disciples asked him, "Why do you speak to people in parables?" And he said, "Because the knowledge of the secrets of the kingdom of heaven has been given to you, but not to them." This one always cracked me up. Whoever has will be given more, and they will have in abundance. And whoever does not have, even what they have will be taken from them. This is why I speak to them in parables. And I've always said that just doesn't sound fair, does it? If you have it, you get more. But if you don't have it, you get what you have gets taken away. And what was he talking about here? We talked about this a lot. Thank you, consciousness. It's the consciousness that he's talking about. Whoever has the consciousness of this abundant life, then more will be given. But when we don't have that consciousness of abundant life, I know I've lived in that place, and it was a struggle. Anybody ever experienced struggle like that? Yeah, absolutely. So metaphysically, the sower is the divine mind, the divine intelligence, that which we call God. And the sower is always broadcasting the seeds, and the seeds are the higher thoughts, the divine ideas. So this is what we want to be tapped into, right? We want to be tapped into that, to the great mind, to the divine intelligence, to these divine ideas. So this parable actually represents many, many things that we're going to see here. So let's look at heaven for a moment. In Greek, the word heaven is O-U-R-A-N-O-S, and the root of that is O-R-O-S, and I love this, which means to lift or to rise. And in this context, it's as though heaven is being referred to as a verb, as an activity, rather than as a noun or as a thing. So heaven is actually a process of elevation, of rising, of expansion of consciousness. And where is that higher dimension found? Where's heaven? It's within, okay. So in these terms, heaven becomes a universe or dimension, a personal reality, which is a process that occurs within. The kingdom of heaven, I love this, is a process of rising, of being lifted up into a dimension of happiness and power, the ability to change things, a universe that is always present and will always be present, a universe of mind. Now, here's the interesting part of this journey. And again, I think for the majority of us who have been in Unity for any amount of time, we will be able to say, oh, this is true. For a seed to achieve its greatest expression, it must come completely undone. The shell cracks, its insides come out, and everything changes. To someone who doesn't understand growth, it would look like complete destruction. Now, this is something that happens often, and I don't want to say just in Unity, but in a kind of what we would call new thought. It's really ancient thought. But as we start filling our minds with these new ideas, the old has to fall away. And when the old falls away, people, events, jobs, various things also fall away from our lives that don't match the new consciousness, the new thoughts that we're thinking. And that can feel very scary. And it can feel like, oh my gosh, this stuff isn't working. My life is actually getting worse. But what I want to tell you is hold on, because the old has to fall away in order for the new to rise. And know this, that at every end, there is a new beginning. There is always a new beginning. And what this parable is going to help us to understand is how important it is to keep ourselves rooted in the truth, whatever it is that we're going through. So then in this particular parable, Jesus also tells how to use it and what it means. He says, listen then to what the parable of the sower means. When anyone hears the message about the kingdom and does not understand it, the evil one comes and snatches away what was sown in their heart. This is the seed sown along the hardened path. So the hardened path, if you remember, is the one where the birds just come and they take the seed away. So what he's talking about here, when he's talking about the seeds that we're sowing, he's talking about thought forms. These are the thought forms that we are sowing in this field. I like to think of this as like the field of pure potential. We live and move and have our being, my friends, in this field of absolute pure potential and possibilities. So what is the evil one? Well, it's not something that's outside of us. It's really, and he calls it the ego, but not to make the ego bad. We need the ego. For me, the ego, I've always said, is a conditioned mind pattern. And it's generally been conditioned by people and events and experiences, cultures that we haven't been aware of. And we're reconditioning our mind pattern. So we're reconditioning our ego. But have any of us ever had our ego kind of trip us up? Yeah? Yeah. Never. Okay, that's awesome, Clay. Absolutely. So we just want to be aware of that. The evil one is not something outside of us. It's just that, we go back to our old thought forms. We go back to our old way of thinking. We go back to our fears and to our anxieties and to, thinking that life has to be what it used to be. And I'm telling you, life does not have to be what it used to be 100%. Okay, so in a practical aspect on this one, this is where I would say that we recognize that perhaps an area of our life hasn't really been working. I'm going to just use finances for a moment. So let's just say that our lived experience up until this point has been one of lack and stress and anxiety. And our current lived experience is that. So we say, okay, I really want to change this experience that I'm having. So I'm going to start using some affirmations. I may start, reading a few things, but I'm not really able to focus because my current lived experience is constantly in my face. Now, I can tell you this from personal experience, that's tough, isn't it? When your current, or if you have a health issue, your current lived experience is telling you something different than what thought forms you're trying to put into this field of pure potential. So this is that place where there's not even an opportunity for a root to get anywhere in that field of potential, because we really don't believe it yet. We're focused too much on what is. So the next part of the parable is that the seed falling on rocky ground refers to someone who hears the word and at once receives it with joy, but since they have no root, they last only a short time. When trouble or persecution comes because of the word, they quickly fall away. So he talks about that this part of the parable is talking about someone who has no root in self. And so what does this mean? How can we not have a root in our, him or herself? Well, a root, when you think of a plant, extends below the ground. It's beyond sight. It's beyond what we can see. But it's the invisible part of that organism that it's enabled it to reach and to penetrate parts of the ground where it's bringing these nutrients back up to the manifested plant that is above the ground. So the root is very important, right? And what that root is in is very important, right? So if my root is still in lack consciousness, if my root is still in I'm never going to get better, then what am I feeding my consciousness? That. So, in this, it's just recognizing that we want to get ourselves rooted in this divine consciousness. We want to do, and I talk about this almost every week, do the work that is ours to do if we want to affect change in our lives. And ultimately, if we want to affect change in our community, in our country, and in our world. So this is where we're kind of starting to make the commitment. And this is where maybe we're kind of hit and miss on our spiritual practices. I may do some of my spiritual practices for a few days, and then boom, I'm right back into my stinking thinking. And then, wait, a week later, I need to get back into my spiritual practices, and then boom, I'm back into my stinking thinking. We really don't have an opportunity to root ourselves deeply in that greater truth at this point. Then there's the seed falling among the thorns, and this refers to one who hears the word, but the worries of life and the deceitfulness of wealth choke the word, making it unfruitful. And so in this, he says, slight improvement with other translations of the Greek would be, that which is sown on the thorny places are the people hearing the word of the kingdom, who are being distracted by the external world, including the delusions caused by the external thought forms of wealth. The thoughts of people so distracted will not bear truth. Now, this one kind of conveys a dual message. And the first part is that we have to be able to concentrate. And this means that regardless of what is occurring in our life today, we have to be able to focus on what it is that we truly desire to experience. That is how we're going to start bringing those, spiritual nutrients up into our life. How many of us have maybe decided, hey, I'm dealing with a health issue, so I am going to work on the self-healing. And of course, we know this is Charles and Myrtle Fillmore, our co-founders, and we share it with somebody else who doesn't necessarily share our beliefs. And what are generally their words about that? Are you crazy? You're out of your mind, that can't happen. Or we have, doctors, or we have medical people telling us, that's not possible. This is this part of the parable where we're kind of in both realms here now, where we're trying to do the work that is ours to do, but boy, we've got some other people here that are telling us something different. It's a dual message, and I love in Scripture where it says how important it is to be single-minded. It's important that we step back. And I've shared this before, that when there have been times when somebody has tried to tell me something different than what my focus is, that I go, la, 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 la. And because I don't want to take in their energy. I don't want to take in their unbelief. I want to stay focused on what I believe can be in my own life. And here's the thing I want to tell you, my friends, if it's in you, there's a reason why it's in you. If there's that belief in you that you can move out of lack consciousness, if there's that belief in you that you can be healed, if there's that belief in you that you can find somebody in your life to share the rest of your life with, that's in you for a reason. And your job is to just say, get behind me, because you have no power over me. What you're saying is not my truth. It's not my reality. And what I've even found sometimes in my life is I have to quit talking about it to people who want to not let my dream be what my dream is. And that's a healthy thing to do. So just know that it's okay if you need to do this. The second part of this that he talks about is that many times when let's just say we finally move out of lack experience and we're in the flow now, we've got more than enough money coming in and it feels really good, and we get so caught up in making that our source that we're no longer doing any of our spiritual work, because why do we need to? My life is going good. And it's so important. And I'm going to tell you, for the rest of your life, it will be important that you are feeding yourself these spiritual truths in whatever way it works for you, in whatever truths are true to you. It doesn't have to be what we teach here at Unity. Obviously, I'm going to teach Unity teachings. But whatever it is that you believe about the nature of God and about the nature of life itself and about the nature of you, stand solidly in that. And let your roots go deep into that knowing of what is true and possible for you, because you are the only ones who can redirect your life. Somebody can't do that for you. We wish they could, huh? But nobody can. We can support, but it's up to us, again, not to have that dual mind. And then the last part of this is that the seed falls on good soil, and this refers to someone who hears a word and understands it. This is the one who produces a crop yielding 160 or 30 times what he has sown. This is where we have moved out mostly of, and hopefully all the way, but out of those old beliefs and patterns. Now, the way that I'm going to share this with you is because I did, and I've shared this before, experience lack for a good part of my life, financial lack. And I did a lot of work on moving into a greater experience of freedom and abundance. But I'm going to tell you that sometimes those old lack thoughts come up. Does anybody ever have that? Yeah, they still come up. The great thing is I have tools now, and I'm much more aware, so I don't stay in that place now. And how do I know, and I talk about this a lot too, how do I know that those thoughts are coming up? I feel it in my gut. I can feel it in the anxiety that I'm feeling. Whatever it is. Let's talk about health. That, again, I can give you firsthand experience on this, and I can give you experiences of other people where it seems like something is not able to, quote unquote, be healed. You're diagnosed with this, and it's like, this is what you're going to have for the rest of your life. This is the medication that you're going to have to take for the rest of your life. And here's what I want to say. If you need to take that medication for the rest of your life, it's okay. It's okay. I always want to say that. Do not throw out Western medicine. Thank God for Western medicine. But we also know that there's a deeper spiritual truth here, and that we can open ourselves up just like Myrtle and Charles did, and like thousands of people throughout the course of time, to bring a greater experience of health and wholeness into our bodies, whatever that journey is. It may be Western medical journey, but it also may be an alternative journey. So just open yourself up to your own guidance in that. Here's the thing is that I absolutely do know, and I'm so grateful because of my job. I have to stay in this stuff all the time. I mean, I have no choice but not to. I'm constantly reading. I'm constantly listening to things. Paul and I are constantly talking about things, and so I'm constantly immersed in it. I'm so blessed in that because my life is so different today than it was like 20 years ago. I'm a different person today. I'm a healthier person in so many ways, but I can credit that to that diving in to these spiritual teachings, to making that the priority in my life as much as I can on a daily basis. Do I do it every single day? No, I miss days because the busyness of life happens. Or I know we had a kind of a crazy week this week, and we kind of feel like maybe something's going on because a lot of people have talked about some really crazy things that have been happening around them this past week. So in those times, it's like we still talk about it. Obviously I'm still working on this stuff, but it's not the same every single day. And that's one of the things I love about the 4 agreements, where it says always do your best, but your best is going to be different on different days. And sometimes your best is just going to be to sit there and go, I don't know what's going on. I don't understand it, but I know somehow it's all going to work together for the greater good. That may be your best for that day. And that's okay. So this week, I just want to encourage you to let yourself think about this parable and think about in various areas of your life, if there's an area that you are ready to move into a greater experience and expression of, think about, where am I rooted? Am I rooted in my old thoughts and beliefs? Am I rooted in some type of lack consciousness? Am I rooted in illness? Am I rooted in the belief that I'm unworthy? Am I rooted in the thought that I can never attract a partner into my life that is going to be an amazing partner? Am I rooted in the thought that I'm never going to have the job that I really want to have? Pull those dang roots up, you guys. Pull them up, because that is not your truth. That was somebody else's truth that was given to you. You had a perception of what it was. You took it on to be real and true, but I'm telling you, it isn't what it has to be, and it isn't. And I'm not only standing here as proof and evidence of that, but I promise you that there are so many people just in this room alone who could probably stand up right now and quote unquote give a testimony as to how, when they started rooting themselves in the greater truth and doing the work, that their lives changed for the better. How many of us could actually do that? Yeah, right. Okay, the majority of us. Yay, that's awesome. So this week, just be aware of what you're rooted in. I invite you, I encourage you. I'm going to say this over and over and over because the work is so important. But I love in AA how at the end everybody holds hands and they say, it works if you work it. And that's what I want to say here, is that this works if you work it. But you have to be the one to work it. And I know that you can. So I say to you, namaste. And next week we're going to talk about, I think, the wine and the wineskins. I'm not bringing wine. I could. We could have communion, Bless you. Thank you, guys. Thank you. All right. As our band is coming forward with Jacob again, we have this great opportunity to just be in support of Unity of Springfield, what we are today, what we are becoming. We can give through our Tithely app, which is really such an easy way for us to give. You can give through PayPal. And so let's just, however we give, if we give online or whatever, take the energy of that into your hands and into your heart, and let's bless it together. Divine love through me blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive, and thank you, God.
Once again, we have Mr. Jacob Burr singing Everything New by Daniel Nahmod.
Bring it on, everything new, everything different, and everything true. I am ready for my next thing to do. Oh, I know it's gonna be everything new. I'm through crying, I'm through waiting, I'm through hoping against all hope. I'm through grieving for something gone that'll never return. I think I finally learned to bring it on. Everything new, everything different, and everything true. I am ready for my next thing to do. Oh, I know it's gonna be everything new. And I'm through grieving, I'm through dreaming that the life I had is ever coming back. No more wishing on someone else's star that'll never be mine. I think it's time to bring it on. Everything new, everything different, everything true. I am ready for my next thing to do. Oh, I know it's gonna be everything new. And I've survived many times before, broken hearts and slamming doors. I'll be alright, yes I will, once more, just as I did back then. I'm gonna rise again, so bring it on. Everything new, everything different, everything true. I am ready for my next thing to do. Oh, I know it's gonna be everything new. So bring it on. Everything new, everything different, and everything true. I am ready for my next thing to do. Oh, I know it's gonna be everything new. I know it's gonna be everything new.
Jacob!